My name is Jeremy Logsdon. I work at WKU in the WKU Center for Literacy, and we have a partnership with Dollar General where they provide us funding so that we can provide literacy services to adults in the community. At WKU, we had this great opportunity. We've had this partnership since 2009. Dollar General is impressed with the work that we've done, but at WKU we've had a big problem in that we have the money to serve people and no space. Near the Housing Authority, they had a unique situation of they had space. And the Phoenix Place Literacy Center partnership, about 2 years ago, I think it was fall of 14, this was created.
Completed our first play, completely written by them. Here's a comment of our play. Does anybody want to talk about our play?
I would say yes.
Okay.
That the play is very educational for our. It gets us motivated in a way of public speaking.
Yeah.
That took me back to high school when I was second vice president in the FFA chapter. As a young boy, I was a little shy of speaking about our creed speaking contest. Well, this program has helped me in a lot of ways. It's helped me to keep me focused and motivated into learning about the computers that we learned.
I invite you all to come to our reading class.
She wants to invite you guys to come over to our reading class. We're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 11. And it's open to anyone. They just don't have to live in public housing. Anyone can come. So and I was like, Carolyn, if you lose this, somebody can get in your apartment and take everything you have. So her goal was to learn her address and phone number. She knows this, but if I was to ask her right now, she's going to get all embarrassed. Honey, it's okay. So now she knows her address and phone number, and if you look at her keys, that luggage tag is no longer there. So little things that we take for granted, it's really helping other people. So she likes coming, and we love her being there.
That's good. Carol, tell me who your favorite person is.
Let Abraham.
It's in the play. Because in the play, it's like they're doing a reunion. So they're asking Mr. Williams if they can use the hospitality house. And Zach is dropping the ball. He hasn't asked fast enough. And so they get all worked up. At the end, they thank Mr. Williams, and she said, yes, thank you, Mr. Williams. And don't forget to save a dance for me. Anybody else have anything to say? No?
It's been a great partnership with us in Western Dollar General, and they ran it. And from the Ross grant, and we allow us kids to do this through our Ross grant. Also, she worked with our kids at Brightway Learning Center through the Ross grant. And it's more than just doing small things. And we think the big thing is educating folks. It's educating our kids. So this is what some of the HUD money is doing with us.
We're able to help the whole family.
Okay.
The
entire family.
From the kids to the adults.
Are you having anything to say before we move to the next step?
Well, it just sounds like a fantastic program, and the fact that I commend you for wanting to do this as adults. It's hard enough when you're a kid, but as an adult wanting to do more, and it's just going to open up a whole world for you. Reading for me when I was a kid just expanded my universe, and it's going to expand yours now. So. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all of you. And congratulations to all of you for as far as you've come.
So do you mind if they write you a letter or something sometime?
I don't mind at all.
Sounds like a new project.
We gotta get down with it Tuesday.
We gotta get down with it.
Would you mind taking a picture with our group?
To welcome you here today, and so we're so extremely excited to have guests, right, kids? Yes. So let's give our guests a round of applause. Harriet Tubman. Every dream begins with the dreamer, and you have within you the strength and the patience and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world that we live in today. Harriet Tubman, as all of you know, went on, she was a slave for 29 years, freed herself, her family, and thousands of others on the Underground Railroad, which was a series of secret, safe houses for slaves coming out of slavery. And she went on to become known as Moses, the savior of her people. And her, just like many of you, she had dreams. And today, for us, we are entitling this event Reaching for the Stars, because we hope many of our kids here benefit from the academic tutoring, the one-on-one mentorship, the literacy prep, and all of the leadership and guidance that our staff pours into the kids every day. And we hope each one of them have the opportunity to reach for all of their passions and all of their dreams and all of their talents. So in that vein, we want to start off, and we want to welcome to the podium Nnamdi Ngwe. He's going to come and give a student testimony. So would you welcome him with a round of applause?
In 2013, I stepped into this building knowing no one and not sure of what I was doing here. But 3 years later, here I am, standing before the Lieutenant Governor of Kentucky, thanks to the Learning Center and the Housing Authority of Bowling Green. Reaching for the stars. The Learning Center has shown me the true meaning of this phrase in so many ways. To reach for the stars means to set one's goals or ambitions very high. I personally believe that there are three things required to achieve ambitions that can seem impossible: character, intelligence, and resources.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? My country, 'tis a free, sweet land of liberty, of the earth sing. This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth.
For being here. On Wednesday was Dr. Seuss's birthday. And so I actually had the pleasure of reading to some first graders, which was interesting. I read I Wish That I Had Duck Feet. And it was really, they were about your age basically, and they were so cute. You guys are so cute. And thank you all for welcoming me. I am from Detroit. I've been telling my story. Teachers have been asking me to share my life story, my rise from poverty, with you guys basically, because I want to show you what is possible when you dream. Growing up in Detroit, we didn't, as you know, the guys who read my biography said, we didn't have a lot. We didn't have a car, we didn't have a washing machine. I have washed clothes in the bathtub, then hung them in the basement to dry. There were years we did not have a TV set, and when we did, it was black and white. So, let alone cell phones or any of the other things. I don't think cell phones had even been invented yet back then. But I have to tell you, I never, I made do with what we had. I really did. And part of the reason, and I'm so glad to see the literacy program that you have here, Abraham, because literacy, reading is what expanded my universe when I was a kid. All three of my sisters and I loved reading. In fact, we loved reading so much that one year, we typically would bring books to the table, and my mom would get mad because we weren't actually talking to each other. And so at one point she banned books from the table, but that didn't stop us because we read the cereal box, we were pulling canned goods off the shelf. We just had to read. We had to be reading something. And so that's what we did. But reading expanded my universe so much. I could see how other people lived. I could see the possibilities. And I knew that the things that I saw me in Detroit, I knew that I wasn't stuck there. I have to thank, first of all, I thank God for where I am today. I know I did not get here. I have nothing to do with this. I really don't. God's hand was in placing me here in front of the, and second in command in the state. But I have to thank my mother. My mother lives with us now, and Abraham knows her, 88-year-old Miss Marie, as she's called. And I'm blessed enough to, she now lives with me and my husband. She's been there about 5 years. And we moved her in with us out of Detroit. And she said, even though she struggled, my mom never graduated from high school, but she set an example for us. She taught us by example that the right thing is not always easy, and the easy thing is not always right. And I'll give you an example of that. I was 9 years old the year of the 1967 riots. I didn't understand riots back then. I still don't understand it, but somebody, and she didn't let us out of the house, and she told us to stay away from the windows, and we didn't do that. So, but I remember seeing people coming down the street with stuff they'd stolen, and somebody offered her some food that they had stolen, and my mother refused it. And she said to her friend that the people at that store were really good to her, and she was not going to steal from them. And so that just set an example to me and my sisters that, again, the right thing isn't always easy. And you guys will be faced with choices in your lifetime. So just remember to just do the right thing. And you can never go wrong doing the right thing. So I knew that I wanted to get to college. And of course, neither of my parents could afford it. So I ended up working through school. And that was okay. It really is okay. Each of you will have different paths. You can chart your own path however you want to. Just know that just because your path is different from somebody else's, it's okay. It really is okay. You don't have to outdo each other. One path isn't better than another one. We just have different life journeys. That's just the way it is. So mine was to work my way through college. I actually worked at General Motors. A lot of people, when I say I worked at General Motors, they assume I worked at the Corvette plant here in town. But I didn't get here till only about a third of them bother to actually show up on election day and vote. And let me ask you guys some questions. Did you guys know that at one time that black people couldn't vote? You guys know that? Did you know that women couldn't vote? Did you know that at one time it was illegal to teach blacks to read and write? Did you know that? Did you know that at one time, black slaves weren't even in control of their day. Somebody else told them what to do and where to go and, how they were going to work and, so they weren't even in control of their own day. And so knowing these things, I learned these things because in Detroit in the 1960s, when I was your age going through school, the school system in Detroit decided to teach Black American history, on a very deep level. I thought they were still doing this, and sad to say that they're not doing it anymore. But they went into detail on, some figures that, people like Phyllis Wheatley, George Washington Carver, but they also talked about the slave trade.
What I'd like to do, all our two to stand up and wave your hand. All the two to stand up and wave your hand. Fantastic. Again, on behalf of the Housing Authority, We have a very special person, Senator Mr. Chris Taylor. Mr. Chris Taylor is the director of the HUD office in Louisville. Very important job, very important. None. Every day he's come to this learning center, the first thing he do is go into that lab and he do his homework. And it's paid off. He's got a 4.0 grade on average. He will go to medical school. He had a chance to go to China with us. And everything we heard about when he come back was an excellent kid. If you want to find an example of how to act, there he is right there. You don't have to watch LeBron James and all those guys. Right here. If you don't mind opening the gifts up, no, that's okay. I'll make sure you open it. This is the tray that was made out of our cabinet shop in order to give, but this is not for you.
I know that's my bad.
It's your mother.
I promised to give it to her.
Okay. And other one. This is a bowl that we made in our cabinet shop, and we want to give it to our Lieutenant Governor.
Oh, they're so beautiful. Thank you.
We're proud of you. Get your lesson. And remember this. Everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You can do something great. I'm going to do something for me. It's 7 things going to take you around the world and bring you back. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Please. Excuse me. And thank you. So let's say it together. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes,